Hey guys, Conceptual Grappling here. We are days away from one of the most anticipated fights of the year. Khamzat Chimaev vs Gilbert Burns is going down at UFC 273. With the winner likely getting a title shot in the near future, it's a high-stakes matchup in the welterweight division. Both fighters are coming off wins via grappling domination. I previously broke down Khamzat's last fight against Li Jingliang. Check it out, the link is in the description. When this fight was announced, the question that sprang to my mind was, how much of a role will grappling play in this fight? With both fighters excelling in the grappling department, is this fight going to be another version of Kamaru Usman vs Colby Covington? An even stand-up war between two primary grapplers? On the surface level, the answer would be yes, however we are dealing with two different types of grapplers. Colby and Kamaru both came from collegiate wrestling backgrounds, whereas Gilbert Burns is a multiple-time IBJJF world champion and medalist at the ADCC World Championships. Khamzat on the other hand had a prior career as a freestyle wrestler, a multiple-time gold medalist in the Swedish National Championships. Though I wouldn't be surprised if both fighters opt to keep it on the feet and make it a striking affair, Gilbert has had his fair share of success in striking exchanges, dropping Kamaru Usman in their title fight.
I just think he's faster. I think he might be faster than Usman, but I think technically...
Oh! Early land for Durinho with the right hand! Oh, he hurt him bad!
Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness! Oh!
He hurt him bad with the right hand.
Blitzing a stagnant Woodley.
Feeling out process.
Oh,
the exchange!
Burns hurt him! Burns hurt him bad!
Woodley's down! Burns trying to hop on! Whoa! Man, is this it for Burns?
No!
And destroying BJJ fans' hearts with his knockout over Damian Maia.
Oh, wow! Burns thought he had it won. Maia has recovered. Now Gilbert Burns hammers away. Gilbert Burns!
What we have seen from Khamzat in regards to his stand-up ability has been impressive. Against Mirsart, a notable submission hunter, Khamzat avoided shooting in and instead blasted him with a right hand from Chechnya to get the knockout in 17 seconds of the first round. This was also at middleweight, expressing he has the innate knockout power to shut anyone's lights off in the welterweight division. Earlier in his career, Khamzat knocked out fellow Dagestani, Ikram Aliskerov with a perfectly timed uppercut. This win has definitely aged well, with Ikram Aliskerov continuing to impress, now fighting on Eagle FC. From this, we can gather that when faced with an opponent that is deemed to have a high grappling ability, Khamzat opts to keep it standing, instead of immediately shooting in like he has against Rhys McKee, John Phillips and Li Jingliang. Khamzat has spent periods of this training camp at Tiger Muay Thai, a good setting to further develop his striking. In addition, the recent emergence of Darren Till as a training partner, who is definitely a high-level asset to be surrounded by, can only further develop his striking game. But I believe there will be grappling exchanges in this fight, mostly initiated by Khamzat. Typically, Khamzat's approach to the takedown involves making an initial connection from shots in the center of the octagon and then transitioning to the cage to inflict ground and pound. Though the cage fence acts as a surface to enable fighters to get back to their feet. It also creates another dimension that a sufficient grappler can use to apply pressure and restrict movement, making it an ideal place to land strikes. Against someone with Burns' grappling credentials, shooting in the open spaces presents opportunities for scrambles that may lead to the submission entanglements. Something Khamzat would likely want to avoid. In previous fights, against two great grapplers, Damian Maia and Gunnar Nelson, Burns gave up the takedown but immediately transitioned to offense. Specifically, against Maia, Burns was unable to defend the initial takedown entry phase, as he couldn't obstruct the head, hands or hips of Maia. Instead, he immediately rolled under for a leg entry, creating space, and using the scramble for the stand-up. Against Gunnar Nelson, Burns off his back, utilizes K-guard to create opportunities to entangle the legs. Constant submission threats off your back create the space needed to get back to your feet. In a recent interview, Burns stated that he believes Khamzat is going to initiate grappling exchanges.
I do believe he's going to strike a little bit, but I do believe he's going to grapple with you. He's going to try to take me down, wrestle, stay heavy on top, good ground and pound. And That's what I think he's gonna do, and I think I'll have a lot of answers to the game, take down defense, getting up, a lot of striking too. But I see a war. I don't think it's gonna be easy for me. I don't think it'll be easy for him. I think we're gonna grind down. It's gonna be. I see my arms getting raised, but I think it's gonna be a war.
But what is going to be Burns' way of dealing with the takedowns? So far we have seen Burns utilize leg entanglements when in bottom position. Could the K-guard be utilized further? Specifically entrances to backside 50-50, which he attempted against Gunnar Nelson. The backside 50-50 is a good position to attack legs in MMA. Most other leg entanglement positions make you vulnerable to strikes, but in the backside 50-50 the opponent is forced to face away, making it difficult to land strikes. In this example, Lachlan Giles utilizes the K-guard to backside 50-50 against Ali. The top player's options involve immediate defense. Either freeing the knee line through framing or preemptively bring the free leg over, but that is risky as you are entering a standard 50-50 battle. Also, if you attempt to bring the free leg over following the attacker making a grip around the heel in combination with a tight wedge, you are breaking your own leg. These forced defensive options create opportunities for the attacker to get back to their feet amidst a scramble. However, instead of primarily shooting for takedowns, I think the cage is going to be a key target for Khamzat, as takedowns against the cage are much safer due to the opponent having limited mobility. This largely negates the offensive potential for Burns, as submissions opportunities against the cage are very unlikely. Submissions involve a degree of control of a specific limb or body part followed by structure manipulation to its breaking point. Against the cage, these opportunities are limited. Similar to his fight against Meerschaert, Khamzat will likely impose forward pressure with his footwork, working to back Gilbert Burns up against the cage, to initiate cage wrestling. In particular, Gunnar Nelson had success keeping Burns against the cage for large portions of their fight. With Gunnar and Burns being similar in size, this would be less taxing on Burns, but against Khamzat, size will be a big factor. Remember, Burns used to and can still make 155 pounds, whereas Khamzat has the frame for a middleweight. Against long-limbed fighters in the past, Burns has struggled, specifically against Dan Hooker, struggling to get inside and land his favored looping strikes. Burns would get caught with straight shots as he attempted to close the distance. If Khamzat comes into this fight wanting to negate Burns' grappling, could this present opportunities for Burns to shoot takedowns on Khamzat, which would be intriguing to see Khamzat's wrestling and grappling defense. There are so many questions coming into this fight, mainly on Khamzat's part. We have only seen a small portion of his overall game. Hopefully, this fight will give us greater insight into Khamzat's striking capabilities, his cardio and how he deals with adversity. I'm sure that Burns will provide a much greater challenge than Khamzat's previous opponents. However, the odds do not reflect this. Burns is coming in as a plus 400 underdog, whereas Khamzat is a minus 600 favorite. These odds seem wild considering the intricacies of this fight. But it is a display of the hype train that Khamzat is on, which is a justified hype train following his previous performances. Anyway guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions on how this matchup will play out, in the comments. Make sure to subscribe for more grappling breakdowns. I will be making a follow-up video to discuss the aftermath of this matchup. Thanks for watching, see you next time.